Oh, Mass Effect Andromeda, where did it all go wrong? The Mass Effect trilogy was fantastic, and the announcement of Andromeda, fans were excited, they were hyped, but what fans got was not what they expected. We got a mediocre, rehashed story which has been used in hundreds of games before, set pieces and decisions which couldn't even hold a candle to the original trilogy. But nevertheless, this was still a Mass Effect game. I love this universe, so I played it through twice. And one thing it 100% delivered on was funny moments. It really knew what it was doing there. There are some really good, funny, hysterical moments, and I've done a load of videos which will be coming shortly. But I have tried my best to scrape together 5 top moments. Now these top 5 moments don't stack up to the Mass Effect trilogy in any form whatsoever, but they were the top 5 moments that Mass Effect Andromeda had to offer. For those of you that did enjoy it, here are those top 5 moments. In the original Mass Effect trilogy, new species were exciting. To understand their lore, how they work, how they ticked, their differences and their relationships with one another. So in Mass Effect Andromeda, we get introduced to a brand new species called the Young Gaara.
We are the Young Gaara.
So here we have left our own galaxy and come to their galaxy.
She's a human from another galaxy.
So it was exciting to see how they would react to the human species. So the way in which you're introduced to the Young Gaara stood out for me. It was a little different. You escape the game's main enemy, the Archon, and go towards Aya, the Young Gaara's home world. So we're the aliens in this instance, and the way you're met, the reception you get, it stood out for me. It was pretty typical on what you'd expect.
Need me to take my shoes off?
The reason this position made the chart is it surprised me in the sense of the pacing was done really well. You come from a real serious moment escaping the Archon to meeting the Young Gaara, so you think things were going to get worse, but it was delivered in like a comical approach, and it was done really well. From meeting Jarl and his response to you landing on fire, it was just done well. So this was one of those better moments of the game.
I apologize. Landing here the way we did, without warning, on fire, was not the plan.
That's good to know, because if it was, that would be a very bad plan.
When your intentions finally become clear to the Young Gaara that you're not the enemy, they finally open up the city to you more and more. But it takes time, and this was delivered well, with a mission later on where you had to prove yourself. So first contact with the Young Gaara gets the number 5 spot. Because it was different, it stood out a little bit, it was comical, and the pacing was done really well.
Think you could get the guys in the iron market to lay off us, Jarl?
Baran hasn't mentioned any tension. You're welcome in the market.
No, I was a cop. I know when they're spitting my food.
Our 4th entry is the Silurian Ark, which I enjoyed because it showed up unexpectedly as part of the main story. The other 2 arcs in which you're meant to find in the game, the Asari and the Turian, were good, but the Silurian Ark had the Archon involved and was much better. Upon entering the Silurian Ark, it's very dark, quiet, very stealth-like, and you eventually find the Silurian Pathfinder. And at that point it becomes quickly apparent that the Ark has indeed been captured by the Archon.
Our captain saw no choice but surrender. Said we'd live to fight another day.
At this point you devise a plan and work with the Silurians to try and free the Silurian Ark from the Archon's ship.
This is Hager, captain of our Ark. We'll focus on the rescue while you push ahead.
Admittedly, you both have your own separate missions, but essentially you work together. Working side by side with Silurians was good, it was fun, it was different. There are multiple set pieces, bosses in this scenario, and there's a death scene. A little bit of Mass Effect 2 deja vu, anyone? Mass Effect Andromeda coming out with these great ideas, new ideas and other Mass Effect games done before. And the final boss scene in this area is a Krogan which has been exaltated by the Ket. Another one of those scenarios where Mass Effect Andromeda just went to go a little wrong. That's the 2nd point in which you've copied the original trilogy. Shepard died in Mass Effect 2 and come back to life. Indoctrination from the original trilogy. Exaltation from Andromeda, just far too similar. And finally you're presented with a scenario to save Pathfinder Raker, the Silurian Pathfinder, or save some Krogan scouts which have been captured by the Ket. The Silurian Ark has earned the 4th position for being different to the other arcs in the game. There was more into it, it was more in depth, there was more scenarios and choices, a lot more set pieces, and overall it made for one of the better moments of Mass Effect Andromeda. Our third entry is the movie night. Liam comes up with this great idea of watching a movie to boost team morale, and over the course of the game you acquire certain items for the crew so they can enjoy movie night to their fullest, and as a player it was just really enjoyable, just to nice and sit there and watch. The crew get on really well and squabble, Liam and Joel have a real good bond. Depending on your choice of love interest throughout the game, they sit beside you. I said at the start, Mass Effect Andromeda really nailed it on the funny moments, and this scene really shows that. There's a Turian death scene in the movie and the crew squabble, and Ryder steps up to the plate believing she can have better acting. With this, Callow plays dead and Ryder gives it a go. Overall this earns a 3rd spot purely because it was a really comical moment. It was great fun to watch, it was a great set of pacing for where you were at in the game, and overall it was very enjoyable. Mass Effect Andromeda got this one right.
Let's stick with the overacting Turian.
Our second entry is the final mission of the game, Meridian The Way Home. This final mission almost seems like a race in a sense. The Archon is after Meridian for his evil ways, and we are after Meridian to make Andromeda a better place and livable.
Meridian, Pathfinder.
That's Meridian. Looks strange.
Due to the AI in your head, Sam, you are much more technically sound, but the Archon knows this, and that's also Ryder's downfall. The Archon severs the link, and without Sam, Ryder could die.
The Archon has severed my link to your brother's implant. If basic function isn't manually restored, he will die.
What?
At this point you control your sibling to try and restore some basic function to the AI of Sam, or else you will die. With function restored, we have also fallen straight into the Archon's trap. He has captured your sibling and intends on using her implant to gain Meridian. So now it's one final stretch to stop the Archon stopping using Meridian and reclaim your sibling. This piece was only a short segment, but just to play it was really good. You take control of the Nomad through Meridian, and this part of the game is the best that Mass Effect Andromeda has ever looked. Its lush environments, gorgeous backgrounds, it was an absolute beauty to play. There's a hell of a lot going on, with the Hyperion about to crash land in the background. A rare occasion it may be, but this was one of those truly exciting moments of Mass Effect Andromeda. Aid would come to you at the end of this bit, and depending on your decisions you made throughout the journey, it would affect who would come to aid you in this and that. So they tried their best to live up to the trilogy. As you fight towards the Archon, allies would aid in your assistance in achieving that goal, which would lead to one final stretch up to battling the Archon himself.
No more mercy. Kill them all.
Sadly, the final encounter wasn't as exciting as the rest of the segment because you didn't actually battle the Archon directly. It was all about exposing a power relay and battling an architect. But hey, it is what it is. Other than the final encounter, Meridian The Way Home earns a 2nd spot quite easily. You can tell the developers at least tried. It was the most in-depth, there was so much going on, it was the most beautiful part of the game by far, and it actually delivered a part of excitement. It's just a shame the whole game couldn't be like this.
Alright, we're set to go. Somewhere.
Our number 1 entry is Liam's loyalty mission. This whole mission for me personally was just a barrel of laughs. The whole purpose of the mission in the first place is because of Liam's cock up. He takes things into his own hands, trying to make people fit into the Young Gaara world better, life more peacefully, but in the process he gives away valuable data and nav points which could jeopardise the initiative. The Young Gaara in which he had been in contact with, Varand, has been captured, and she is indeed the one with all the valuable data.
We play this right, they'll deliver us just where we need to go. I have a plan.
Liam's loyalty mission was a rather pleasant surprise. Things were getting a little bit serious up to this point, and then this just hit you, and it was really comical. It was written really well, actually. Right from the go, where they're panicking. Liam says he has a plan, but he doesn't know what he's doing. Just an example, right off the bat, they're panicking as to whether there's even air in there for them to breathe.
Not loving this plan, Liam.
Come on. Hiding in derelict cargo to get scavenged. Sure, we don't know what we're up against. Neither do they. Trojan horse simple.
What's a horse? And how do we know there's air out there?
The Greeks didn't need to worry if Troy had air.
There's air.
They've literally gone into this mission completely blind. I mean, they don't even know who's captured Varan, what type of enemy they're against.
Change of plan?
The further you progress, you do indeed find out it's not the Ket. It's a rebel group of Young Gaara, but even then, they're more indulged with the fact and the idea that Liam's plan, goal, and how they got here didn't work, and it was really well written.
I need you to stop hoping things will work and stay on task.
You turn on him.
We have a bad plan to rescue people, and we're doing it. Any questions?
Nope.
Good.
An initiative ally, August Bradley, would also assist in helping you find Varan. The environment of the ship as well would constantly change due to the shift in gravity. And this was fun because you'd find yourself jumping over all different parts of the ship. The end goal is you would eventually find Varan. You'd have a decent enough boss at the end, and it had comical moments delivered throughout.
No whistling.
Aww.
For the mission premises, the level design, the writing, the area in which it all goes down, the actual mission itself not taking itself too seriously, this mission overall is the best of what Mass Effect Andromeda has to offer.
Think that thing would survive a jump back to the Nexus?
Probably not.
By this point you realise, most of you know already, that this game was nowhere near as good as the original trilogy, but I didn't think it was as bad as what many believe out there. It was alright. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Gavinci88. I'm sometimes on Twitch at Gavinci88, where you can follow me and watch me there. And if you get a chance, click on some of the other videos. There's a subscribe button down there, or it's down there, one of them, and there's some other videos around me which you might enjoy. My funny effect videos, you should enjoy them. They're rather funny aspect of Mass Effect. Just have a look, see what